All right, so the Libre 2 has finally been approved here in the United States, and it's been a few days since it got approved by the FDA, and they just released the app in the App Store. So I just wanted to take a look with you and just go over some of the new features and just check it out. So let's take a look. Okay, so the Freestyle Libre 2 app just came out in the United States just about 2 to 3 days ago. So I just wanted to do a quick review on it so you can get an idea. I put side by side here the two different apps, the Libre Link, which is the one we use on the 14-day for the past couple of years. Just so you can see the difference when you look for it in the App Store. So you can see the Freestyle Libre 2 is on the left there. It just says 2 next to it. So when you look in the iOS App Store, you'll find that. Now, just as an FYI, as of right now in the United States, the Libre 2 app is unfortunately only available on iOS, so only iPhones at this time, but they are planning on getting it on Google Play within the next coming weeks. It shouldn't be very long. So let's take a look at the app. I'm going to focus on what's different about this app. Now, I haven't applied a Libre 2 sensor since I just got the app. I haven't, the old 14-day is still running out, so I didn't want to waste that. So I don't have any data on here, but I'll go over the things that you can use in the app and just the things, basically the new things, because I'm sure a lot of you have been using the 14-day and are excited to use the Libre 2. And the main thing here, the difference is going to be your alarms. That's the only difference between the 2 and the 14-day. There's a very tiny difference in the accuracy, but outside of that, it's really all about the alarm. So I'm sure we're all pretty familiar with the daily patterns, the time and target, and things like that if you've been using the Libre app for a while. So let's focus on what's different, which is really, again, just going to be your alarm. So when you click on alarms here, you can see you now have a number of different options. Now, the thing that I was most curious about is, can I disable some of these? Because certain things I don't want to be alerted for, and certain things I do. So I wanted to see that I have that freedom, because when you use the reader, you can turn off all the alarms if you want. Now, on this one, you don't have that option. And let me go over the specifics here. So first, you have your signal loss alarm. All this is if you are too far away from the sensor, say you leave your phone downstairs, you go upstairs, and it's far enough away that the Bluetooth signal isn't coming in, it'll give you a little alarm. They'll let you know that it can't sound off the alarms because it can't read from the sensor. So that's what signal loss alarm is. I normally suggest turning this off because it can just get annoying if you're walking too far away. Now, the other ones are all related to your blood sugars. Now, just so you know, with the Freestyle Libre 2, it's not like the Dexcom. It's going to give you an alarm, but it's not going to tell you what your blood sugar is. It just knows that you've reached a certain threshold, which whatever you set it at, that you've breached that threshold. So say you want to know every time you're above 240, it's going to let you know you have a high glucose alarm, but it's not going to tell you what your blood sugar is. It'll say you need to scan it. So just so you know, the alarms work great, but only to let you know that you've crossed a certain threshold. So first, you have the high glucose alarm. You have a lot of options here. You can choose the alarm tone. There's a couple different ones. You can do a custom one from the phone, or you can do the standard one, and that's with all of these. Now, you can set whatever blood sugar you want here. It goes as low as 120. This is for your high glucose alarms, and then you can go as high as 400, which I'm sure most of you would want to know when you're reach a certain threshold below that. So whatever threshold you want to know, for me, I probably am going to set this up at about 150. I'd like to know every time I'm above 150. So you set that, and then you can set your alarm tone. And then you can also set to override Do Not Disturb, because I know for myself, I have Do Not Disturb on overnight. And if you didn't override that, you wouldn't have any audible alarms. So you can override that, and then you can turn it on or off. So you have the freedom. If you don't want to know when you're high, you don't have to. Now you have your low glucose alarm. Everything's the same here. You can override. You can turn this off if you want. Now so the high and the low you can turn off like this. Again, same thing. You can set this as low as 60, but you can't set it any lower than that. So you'd have to know it's 60. And then you can set it to 100, so up to 100. So those are the options there. Now, so again, you can turn that one off if you don't want to hear it. The one that you cannot turn off is your urgent low glucose alarm. This is below 55. You can't change anything on here. You can't change the alarm tone. You can't change your override. Nothing. You have to have this one on, which means in the middle of the night, and some people may feel differently about this. I'm not thrilled about it because sometimes I will run a little bit lower overnight, and it normally wakes me up on my own, but I'd rather not have an alarm waking me up. I normally wake up just from the way I feel, so you don't have an option to turn this one off. So if you're using the phone app, you need to know there's no option to turn this off. So the urgent low glucose alarm, anything less than 55, it's going to go off no matter what. So if you're in a meeting, you're in school, whatever it is, you cannot turn this one off. The alarm, like it says down here, will always play a sound even if your phone is muted or on Do Not Disturb. So that's something to be aware of, and you actually have to, when you set up the app, it tells you you have to do one of the settings in your phone to the emergency alarm. The same ones when there's a natural disaster or an abduction in the area, things like that. The same one that goes off for that is the same idea here, and you can't disable it. So that's the alarms. That's a little bit about each one. Again, the rest of the app is the same as the Libre 14-day. There's nothing different here. Everything is exactly the same. You have your same sensor usage, your daily graph. So all of those, if you've used the 14-day, you'd be familiar with that. Of course, you can see your average for over 7, 14, 30, or 90. So nothing else is different except for the alarms. Now, also, so the alarm or if you're just using Vibrate, whatever it is, will go off on the phone. And then if you have an Apple Watch, there's not an app for this, but it will show a message on the app. Just like any other notification, if you got like a new message on Instagram, it'll show up on the watch. It'll be the same thing, and you can see the little notification on the watch that your blood sugar is going high or low. Again, it's not going to tell you what you are. You have to scan to do that. So that's the new app. I'm really excited to use it. I have my sensors running out in a few days. I'm kind of like counting down the days because I want to start using this one and having my alarms and things like that. I've been excited for that. Really just because, like I said, my lows will wake me up overnight, but my highs don't. So I hate to sleep through the night and then I wake up in the morning and I realize I was 200 the whole night. That just ruins my whole day. So I definitely would like a preemptive alarm to know about that so I don't sleep through the night on those high blood sugars. So I'm excited about it. I think it's going to help me get in better control. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you've already started using it, please let me know what you think about it. And anything else, any questions you guys have for me, please let me know. But that is the new Libre 2 app that just got approved for iOS here in the United States.